So guys, part of my transformation on my healing journey, I want to call it my transformation journey now, because the word healing, it's just, so faux pas. I'd rather call it my transformation journey. Guys, I have learned so much through this journey. And I have transformed the way I think, the way I feel, and the way I look at life, and the way I look at people. In the past, I've had judgy eyes, and I would criticize, and I would wonder, why do people act the way they act? Why are people so content and happy and still where they are when there's still, guys, S-T-I-L-L, still, okay. So I would sit there and wonder, why are you happy just with this life when there's so much more? Guys, it's like I couldn't understand how people come from, those of us, because I also came from humble beginnings, and from scarcity. But I wanted out ever since I was a child. I wanted out of that life. And at first, I would think that I want out of being poor, money poor. But as I've gone through my transformation journey, I see that it's not only about the money that made me poor. It's about the mindset, the lack mindset I was holding on to, that I was raised in. And I'm not blaming my parents or my family, because they did the best. They did the best with what they had and what they knew. It's not their fault. It's just what they knew, okay? And they were so content. I love my family. We were estranged for many years, but I love them because they're so happy, not all the time with all the bills and the stress with stuff like that, but deep in their heart, they're like, you know what? Okay, I'm here. I'm going to make myself comfortable here where I am. I admire that about them now. In the past, I couldn't understand how they would be content with the life that they were living, right? I couldn't understand, guys. But because I always wanted more, I always, shout. Okay, forget that word. Sorry, guys, forget that word. I've always been a go-getter, and I wanted out of the humble beginnings. I wanted to create a beautiful life for myself, and I wanted to make sure I took all the opportunities I can that life had to offer, and I just was never happy or content. And, it makes me wonder, are we, should we settle in with what we have, or do we keep going and going? Because I've had a lifestyle where I've had money and I was okay and things were good and I can buy everything I want. I'm a Taurus, so I love material things, and I love looking pretty, and I love dressing, I love fashion, and I love style. So, I had that lifestyle already, but I wanted more. But you see, guys, so I'm trying to say, the moments, I skipped over many moments, even when I did have money, when I wasn't poor, my mindset was still poor. Do you see? So, although the money was there, but my mindset was still stuck in lack and scarcity, so I was never able to enjoy the money I had. Like, I now that I look back, I didn't know this at the time, but when I look back, I see, wow, I wasn't happy. Like, I wasn't feeling fulfilled. I always say, okay, no, get more, get more, get more. Like I didn't take times to enjoy the moments. And now that I am really living in poverty, okay, no, really, guys, seriously, physically, oh my God, listen, guys, the table have turned. Now my mindset is not of poverty or scarcity. My mindset is now abundant because I did all the work, guys. I did the work. I'm telling you, I did the work. So now my mindset is full and joyous and happy, and I feel abundant and prosperous, and I feel like, I'm on top of the world with my mindset. But now, physically, I don't have the money. I don't have the finance yet. I don't have the stable income yet. So, you see the tables turn. But I guess I want to say this. No matter where we are on our life's journey, I think we should take time out to take the moments to enjoy what we have. In that moment, be present. Because, guys, we come in this world, we come in, we're born, we live, and then we leave. Okay? We pass on. So we got to take these moments to appreciate being alive and being here. And we get to live in this lifetime. Okay, guys, we get to live. Okay? So we can't forget that. And, right now I have the mindset of abundance. I don't have the physical finance of abundance, but I am trying my best to stay present and be grateful that I am alive and I am here. My living situation sucks. I hate it. It's not how a grown-up woman should be living, for us to have low income, no income. It's not fun. It's not an appropriate lifestyle. You're lacking everything, so everything, material wise, no money. But I try to sit in moments and say, girl, remember when you had money, you still wasn't happy. So don't make money the sole focus of your life. This is what I tell myself. Do not let money be the sole focus of what I want for my life. Because when I did have it, I still wasn't happy. You see, so I am content now. I am fulfilled now. But there's still something missing, which is income. I just want to know that I am taking care of myself, guys. It's not about all trying to take pictures for Instagram or for X or, trying to be flashy and show off. That's not it. But as grown-ups, we want to know that we are taking care of ourselves. And for me, that's emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and, financially. I feel more like a woman when I know that I am doing the best I could to give myself a fulfilling life. And that includes finances, So me taking time away from the work field and trying to start my business, that caused me to go into a sort of bankruptcy and poverty. And I took time off to heal and grow. And that took me out of the work field. And now it's hard for people to hire me back into it. I don't know why. But yeah, it's hard to get back into the work field. So it's caused me to live this way in poverty. And it sucks, guys. It's horrible. But I still try to, motivate myself mentally and spiritually and say, listen, this life is a blessing. I go out in nature, not hiking, guys. I'm not going hiking. Sleeping in tents. I'm not doing that. But like walking out in parks and walking trails and being out in nature with the trees and the grass, that's a beautiful thing. It makes me be present in a moment and understand. Life is a gift. Life is a gift. Although I don't have the money part, I don't want to be miserable I won't allow myself to be miserable. I will not allow myself to be sad just because I don't have the money part, you see. So, yeah, I used to sit and criticize people because I grew up in the hood. I would criticize, why are they so happy being here in the hood? Don't they want more? I would never understand why everybody, the whole hood didn't want to get out of the hood, But now I see, guys, I did a lot of emotional intelligence growth and healing. And I understand we don't all want the same thing as human beings. They took a lot for me to understand this. And I always wonder, gosh, don't you guys want to get out of here? But then, I've had that conversation with some people. And they're like, out of here for what? Why? We're happy. And I never understood. But now I do. We have to let people live on their journey. That's their journey, and they're happy in their life. They're happy in their own shoes. And I learned how to let people be happy in their own shoes, right? No judgment, no criticism now. I had to learn that the hard way because it broke me away from my family because I thought I was so different, and I thought, I was alone, wanting more out of life, more of a physical life, more of a financial life. And so it estranged me from my family. I didn't want to be around them because I said, you guys don't want anything, so I'm out of here. And I took off on a whole life's journey on my own, like Moses in the desert, trying to look for something I didn't even know what I was looking for. But when it boils down to everything, guys, after me doing my transformation journey, I understand what I was missing. What I was looking for was inside me the whole time. It was right under my feet. Yes, it was inside me the whole time. And that is fulfillment, self-love, and self-acceptance. I didn't have self-acceptance before. I didn't have good self-worth before. So guys, after all the transformation journey and, reinventing my mindset, my consciousness, I now understand all that searching I did. It led me right back to me. It led me right back to me, right back to myself. It was never on the outside of me. It was always on the inside, So now I look at people, even when I'm in a hood and when I'm in these humble situations in poverty and when I'm at the shelter, I look at them and let them live their life. I don't judge anymore. I don't criticize. And I don't say, oh my God, guys, get out of here. What are you doing? Come on. Get yourself out of there. What are you doing? I have to let people live their life's journey. You see, I used to be so mad at the black community, at my community, because I'm like, why don't you guys do better? Why you want to live like this? Talk right, do right, educate yourself, pick up a skill. But now I don't do that. I need to mind my business. I need to take care of myself, build myself, use that information for me, because there is something I'm lacking. If I am sitting there judging others or criticizing others for the way they want to live, that tells me there's something inside of me that needs fixing. That's why I'm so focused on other people's, shortcomings. So, guys, I had to learn that. And, what an amazing transformation I've done. And I started this show, The Art of Reinvention with Tavia. I started this podcast because I did amazing work, guys, amazing work. And when I build this platform up better and more, I'm going to invite people on with their transformation journey and how they reinvented themselves, their reputation, their identity, their name. So this show is going to grow, guys. Just be patient with me. My physical situation is not the best to be doing podcasts right now. So, my financial situation's not there yet. So just be patient with me. My show's going to grow. I promise you that. The message is important and big, so. Okay, guys, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I learned a big lesson about life, and now I'm letting people live their journey. Let them live their journey. And we don't all want the same thing out of life. So that's when I see people being the rich people in the world, the billionaires. They want to hold on to money so tight and are scared somebody's going to one-up them. They're wrong, because everybody don't want to be a billionaire. Everybody don't want power and control over everybody. Not everybody want the same thing. And I understand that. And I'm not criticizing anymore. I'm not judging anymore. Because that's, they're happy. Let them be happy. If they don't want to get out of the hood, let them stay there happy. Because, guys, as I walk through, I see these people joking and laughing with their friends, having fun, hanging out. Before I would judge that and say, oh my God, they got time to do that? Shouldn't they be studying, learning a skill? Because guys, I'm extremely disciplined and strict when it comes to education and learning. I'm really strict. Ask my son, I'm really strict. But too much so. I forgot how to have fun in life, yeah. But anyway, I walk through now with the eyes. I see their joy in their heart, and I say, okay, let them be. Let them be. If they want to change, if they want to upgrade and grow, they would do it on their own time. We all have a different journey, so I'm going to let them be. Okay? No judgment, no criticizing. I'm going to let them be. Okay? So guys, this is Tavia Lennon, and I am the host and the creator of The Art of Reinvention with Tavia Lennon. And guys, thank you for listening to another episode of my show. And I will talk to you guys soon. Bye for now.